A new technology has been developed by Australian researchers screening newborn babies for multiple genetic conditions using a single test. Joining us live with more is Natasha Robinson, the health editor at the Australian newspaper. Natasha, good to see you. Thanks for your time. As we know, every new parent is always very anxious to have doctors give their newborn the all clear on the health front. Now, this newborn screening program, as I understand it, is promising to be able to pick up hundreds of conditions in just one test. That's helpful for families, but also, I guess, more broadly for the public health system.
Yeah, that's right. It is the sort of advances that have been made in DNA sequencing, or what's being dubbed next generation DNA sequencing, that has allowed this particular development of this technology. It's one of a number of different tests that are currently in clinical trials around Australia. This particular technology, it's known as Atlas. It's a private company in conjunction with some university researchers and Queensland's public pathology arm that has run a sort of proof of concept study, a feasibility study, and the results of that study were published this week in a scientific journal. So they've shown that it is feasible for this type of testing to be done, which essentially, in quite a quick and relatively low-cost test, is able to screen for hundreds of conditions at the same time. But that's because the advances in this DNA technology allows the analysis of multiple strands of DNA or RNA all at the same time. What they're not sort of just throwing the sort of gates open to test for everything, however. So they've isolated about 164 conditions that they can test for, which we know, if they're detected, that we can treat. So that's a fundamental principle of any kind of screening, which is that you don't screen for something that you can really provide no solution for if it is detected, because it's pointless for a start, but it also causes, a very high degree of anxiety unnecessarily. So, it does seem to be not too far off, I would suggest. Probably, I would say within the next 5 years or so, we'll see these types of next generation DNA sequencing technologies come into the newborn genetic screening space. At the moment, all babies tend to get what's known as a heel prick test, where a little bit of blood is taken, and at the moment there's about 30 conditions that are screened for on the national screening program. So some of them are genetically based conditions, but this would really expand the suite. And for many of these conditions, early intervention is really critical. So it would be a sort of major preventative health strategy if we did expand newborn screening in this manner.